know. When she, well, I don't know whatever happened to her. JB exploration. He did, just run for business. But, I don't know what happened to Mary Burke.
The biggest encyclopedia track was when
But she was
shut
shut
up
up
like
like
that.
that.
She was this guy and so they brought him to the case.
There was nothing you couldn't, we had over 115 anywhere. You know, that he didn't say something. And she knew the answer every time. She was.
Well, you know, you had the benefit. She didn't give you the change the administrator's interpretation, right?
It was, yeah, it was.
Okay, it is 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. I will call this regular town board meeting of the town of Fort Point to order. Take a roll call. Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter.
Here.
Susan Brenna.
Here.
John Carlson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town clerk, Michaela Montaigne, our town administrator, Michael Kupta, our public works director, Ben Schramm, and quite a number of our treasurer, our town treasurer, who has multiple hats, Carol Neubauer, and members of the Harbor Commission and guests. So thank you. Is there any public comment that is of 1 minute or less? Okay, thank you. Next item, administrative reports. Did we want to, okay.
I'll make a motion that we move 4B to now.
Okay, that's the Harbor Commission request for additional funding, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So Harbor Commission, request for additional funding. Everyone should have a letter from the Harbor Commission President requesting an additional $50,000 be deposited or transferred into their designated fund for essentially startup costs to investigate the purchase of assets of Madeline Island Ferry Line.
I'll make a motion that we transfer $50,000 from the town admin cell tower funds to the Harbor Commission.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
You. That's
We
just
could
saying
make
okay
up,
now.
we could make up questions if you'd like. I would take this opportunity to, yeah, I would take this opportunity, but thank you all very much for your good work.
Have a good night.
Now we don't have to worry about there being a warrant.
Now we can talk about the interest rate on that.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, is there a motion to move back to the regular?
I'll make a
Order?
motion to move back to regular order. You could move to Carol's, I know.
Okay,
Oh,
how about we do that? How about we move to Carol's
Okay,
item, which is way down into page 2, item 5H.
thank you. I'll make a motion that we move to item 5H.
Move seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Carol's got a memo that she prepared on the short-term rentals, personal property tax. I don't know if you have anything further you wanted to add, Carol, to what was on
If
that.
you'd like me to speak to it, I'm happy to. This is something that we have dealt with for many years. I know it's a very difficult thing to ask to remove tax dollars from the tax roll, but this personal property, the monitoring, maintenance, collection, everything about it is a very difficult, time-consuming task. And at the end of the day, the town keeps about $820.
I think that says it all.
Yeah.
So, Steve Nordquist, I mean, he was telling me the hours he puts into it. I look at the hours I continue to put into it. And I just would ask that we eliminate it from our tax roll.
Okay, I have just one question.
Sure.
Do we have the authority as the town to eliminate this for the other entities that we're getting part of it?
As best I know, we do, because it is ours to collect and ours to issue and put on the tax roll.
Okay.
So I believe we do, but Glenn, I will double check it with the Towns Association. As I mentioned, he assesses for about 20-some towns and only 2 towns do it. So I believe we do have the authority, but I will double check that and I can report back before you approve it or
Well, I
approve
think
it
we
based
can
on
approve
pending.
it based on, contingent on that, Michael?
I have asked the Towns Association for interpretation. I have not heard back from them yet.
Okay.
This is state statute. It is required under state statute.
The imposition of
The
the person.
imposition is,
Regardless of dollar amount?
it is section 7035, requires every person, firm, or corporation owning personal property used for business purposes, I'm excerpting here, to submit a statement of personal property and its value to the assessor. What Carol said, Steve Norquist, it is few of the towns he assesses for do it. I do not know how many of those towns actually have short-term rentals in their towns, so there may be a difference there or not. He has talked with the Department of Revenue. They do not have an official position on this, something we are learning about. But his wording is, the statute wording is kind of indirect. It basically says that personal property is to be assessed if used for business purposes unless specifically exempted elsewhere in the statutes. I looked at the statutes, there are 46 specific categories of exemption. Short-term rentals are not one of them. So at the very least, I would ask that we do additional research before the town board acts.
Did you talk to Steve yourself?
I've emailed with him, I haven't talked to him.
Well, but, because you'd think he'd know. He deals with this kind of stuff all the time.
Well, again, he's even gone as far as trying to get guidance from the Department of Revenue. He has not been able to get that guidance.
Yeah, and, I think that the town of Sanborn is seeing, that the opposite, where they were collecting taxes on property that they probably shouldn't have been collecting taxes on, and now they owe the property owners back taxes for all those years. So Carol, I thank you for bringing this to our attention. I think that it's, sounds to me like it's very practical to try to do this. And so if we can find out if it's legal, that would be great. So is there a motion to table this?
Postpone.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to postpone the personal property tax on short-term rentals
To our next meeting.
till the next meeting.
Okay. Is there a second?
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So if, in the future, like, let's just say that we find out we can do this. So we decide at the next meeting to go ahead and do this. Now, in the future, let's say that this becomes, we're not gonna make $820 anymore, we're gonna make $8,020. So now, what do we have to do to get back?
To reinstate it.
Yeah, to reinstate it. I mean, can we, when we make that motion to quit doing it, should we say that we have the right to reinstate it?
Can we find that out if possible?
I mean, it's
It
just.
sounds like the initial question's enough in the gray area that probably the reinstatement hasn't even been thought of.
I mean, if it becomes profitable again,
Right,
And then I would ask if we don't eliminate it, that we make it a more equitable tax, because right now it is very inequitable across the board.
in other words, some people are complying and some people aren't,
Some people are assessed and some people aren't.
because it's self-assessed,
Right.
personal property
And
taxes
it's all
are
on
basically.
their honor. kind of.
Yeah.
So I would ask that maybe we strengthen or create an ordinance that strengthens that if we decide not to do this.
Okay,
If we're gonna do it, let's make money do it. Sorry.
well, and not lose money, how about?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments for Carol? Okay, there's there's a motion on the table to postpone. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Carol.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yes, thank you very much for your work.
Have a good night.
You too.
Okay,
I'll
is
make a
there
motion that we go back into regular
order
order.
second?
Second.
Second, moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are back to administrative reports, town administrators report. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Comments for Michael? Go ahead, Mike.
I have a couple questions. On the very back page, Michael, you're going to the district meeting on March 31st in Cable. What's that one for?
It's essentially training and informational.
I mean, just a municipality, municipal.
The Wisconsin Towns Association, it's a district meeting. I've never been to one, so I don't know. I've seen the agenda. I don't have the agenda with me.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's.
But
I
there
just didn't-
essentially are 3 seminars
Yeah,
on different topics
right.
relevant to town governance.
It's
And
the
then,
next level up from the unit meeting, right?
From,
The
yes,
county
as far
unit
as the
meeting.
number of people who would be there, yes.
And the geography that it covers.
Correct.
Okay.
and then my second question is, and this probably has Michaela involved too, is the board review training, did that change?
No, and if we do it, we can also get it through the, local government center and we can get the DVD again.
Because we,
For the same price as going to the in-person and or virtual, one. So I'll probably,
the
I can't
DVD,
order,
the DVD.
I can't order it until, April 1st, it's not available yet, but I plan on doing that because then we can watch it on
Right.
time and whoever wants to watch it.
So you don't have to do the in-person.
You don't have to do the in-person.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Michael?
I've got a couple
Go
of
ahead.
questions.
Go ahead, John.
On the second page, it says, did you sit in on the council's meeting on the 21st for Red Cliff? Or
Yes.
is that part of,
Yes,
okay,
yes, it
I
is.
thought maybe it was tied into the clinic thing or something like that.
No, it's a separate thing.
And then on the front page, with the authorization, did you already authorize this stuff, for the roads?
I'm sorry, which authorization, John?
It says,
So for the committee,
for the roads, parks and.
No, that's on the agenda later today.
Okay, well, I just kind of was wondering, because it says authorized, so I didn't know if you authorized them, or if it was,
That's
you
like
were
what
waiting
you
for
do.
us to.
That's what the town board would be asked to do.
What your motion can
Right.
say.
Okay, and my next question is if you could give an update on the cell tower at Dunbar and what's
Sure.
going there.
So essentially, we are operating under, the advice we've received previously. One from the Federal Communications Commission, which says that based on the measurements, the distance measurements that we've given them, that they highly doubt that there is any exposure risk to radio frequency emissions from the tower or towers. And then the State Department of Health expert on radio frequency who, looking at the readings we took with our handheld meter, says that if those readings if he's interpreting them correctly, there's a lack of risk to the readings are an order of magnitude under where we would be having risk. So that's what we are operating under. We are still attempting to get a professional company in here to do a baseline reading. The new AT&T antenna is operational. So this is a good time to get someone in now that we have both towers operating. I had a conversation today actually with one company that said they have been trying to get consultants in to do it and people were not interested. We talked about just casting a wider net, which means we may need to pay, higher mileage or perhaps even a lodging charge that we might not otherwise. But he believes if we cast a slightly wider net, meaning, as far as like Duluth or Eau Claire, instead of just like a 1 or 2 hour range, that we have a better chance of getting someone in. So he expects to have some answers to me by the end of the week. So we are continuing to essentially get someone who has the professional training and credentials to get us a baseline reading so we know one way or the other what we have as far as signal strength and exposure for our work, for our employees, for people who come to the MRF, and for, with the summer coming, with folks who are volunteering or visiting the Island Closet. So we're continuing to try to get that nailed down. At this point, we are, again, basing our practices on the FCC and the State Department of Health, and the MRF supervisor is comfortable with that, as to where we are so far.
This might be a
Thanks.
stupid
Yeah.
question, but wouldn't the onus be on the company that put the tower?
Well,
up?
we have also, I mean, we are also trying to get either their assessments or their calculations. They are supposed to have done these.
Yeah.
Um,
Think.
You know, I talked with a guy who owns the current tower, not the new one, today, and they're still trying to figure out where those might be, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then the new tower, because it's new, they think they might have better access to those reports. We haven't seen any of those yet. So again, we're working multiple avenues to try to get specific information on readings. And as with so many things, it's very difficult to get people to cooperate.
Well, maybe now since it's up and running too, would be
Yeah.
Right.
time to take a reading rather
So
than.
I
Well,
have-
certainly with our own independent readings, you know, now if we decide to go that route, it's kind of double our value.
John, is that your?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
anything else?
So I have a question. When they first presented this tower to us, they said that it was going to be 4G and then go to 5G, and you're saying the tower's on. Is the tower on at 4G or is it at 5G?
I
Because,
have no idea.
so we might wanna wait before we have our tests until it's all power to 5G instead of, because otherwise we might have to do it twice. I mean, I'm sure you could find out if it was 5G. Because I recall them saying they would start it at 4G.
Would that take a couple of years, did they say?
Um,
Or 5 years?
no, I don't think that long. I don't think they said a couple of years.
Michael, if you can follow up with that and just find out if
Yeah.
that's something.
I'll
So
be
another
talking with
twist.
AT&T and Harmony folks on a regular basis anyway.
Okay,
Thank you.
See what we can find out.
great, thank you. Any other questions or comments for Michael on his
I
report?
was just wondering how the rating on the Hayden Road is going.
The selection committee, essentially finalized the decisions on Monday.
Okay.
So we ranked all 8 of them. We submitted the top 3 as we are required to do to the Department of Transportation. They begin negotiations with the top ranked company, and if that doesn't work, they move to number 2.
Cool.
And then number 3, I actually sent out the notifications today to all 8 companies, letting them know what our ranking results were.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm trying to remember in order. Cooper Engineering was rated 1. Short Elliott Henderson was 2, and CBS Squared was rated 3.
Great, well, thank you, and thank you for your work on that. Okay, is there unanimous consent to place the administrators?
Yep.
Yes.
Next item, Public Works, roads, dock, and harbor. Item 1, transfer hours among temporary driver positions, and I think that, John, is what you were asking about. And so those are those 3 items. I don't quite need to read them, or do I?
The first one's just the first bullet point, the.
Okay, so authorize transferring 50 hours from the temporary driver position held by Evan J. Erickson to the temporary driver position held by Paul Wilhelm, effective 4/12/23 to 12/31/23 for both positions. Is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion to
Transfer.
authorize transferring those hours.
A second?
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
Well, why are we doing this again?
Doing what exactly?
Transferring these hours?
I don't remember transferring anything previously, but.
Okay, not again, just why are we doing it?
Because it snowed a lot, and Paul Wilhelm worked more than was budgeted, however, Evan J did not.
Okay, so you're trying to get Evan more hours.
And then we'll have less, because he wants to be fully retired, yet remain on the list.
Got it, okay.
So these will hold Paul over through the
Yeah.
rest of the calendar
Yeah.
year, I hope.
Okay, any other discussion? It's been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, item B, increase parks number 1 position wage and hours from $19.25 an hour to $20.50 an hour for a maximum of $864 hours, effective May 14th of 2023. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we authorize what you just spoke about, Parks one.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, item C, materials recovery facility, reduce the MRF transportation specialist position hours from 40 hours a week to a maximum of 30 hours a week effective April 12th of 2023. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we authorize reducing the MRF transportation specialist position from 40 to 30. I do have discussion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, discussion?
So Ben, will this, because this position requires a CDL, right?
Correct.
Are we gonna be able to find someone that holds the CDL that only wants to work 30 hours a week?
Yes,
Okay.
We'll hire you on the next agenda.
we will.
Okay,
So you just so I get this straight in the head. So what you're doing is you're reducing it 10 hours because somebody will work 30 hours a week, Holland, basically, Holland.
Correct.
And they're okay with that. Somebody will be okay with that.
And in addition, they don't need to collect benefits.
Well,
So everybody's gonna.
I just don't wanna hear about it next month that somebody's not okay with it, you know? As long as everybody's okay with it.
Everybody's okay with it.
all right, any other discussion? Okay. And we always like to see positive variances on the budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And really thank you to Marty for, I know he's picking up some slack to make this happen and doing work, so it's good. Next item, airport. Item 1, resolution petitioning the Secretary of Transportation for the airport improvement aid. And this obviously goes along with the public hearing that we had earlier.
I will make a motion to approve the chair and the airport manager to sign the resolution for the petition from the Secretary of Transportation for the airport.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
Who signs it as supervisor?
I was looking at that and it looks to me like that's if
Ben?
we would have, but the only people that have to sign it is the
Okay.
chairman and
Right,
the airport manager.
Perfect, we'll do that.
So moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Who seconded it?
John.
Okay, item D2, agency agreement and federal block grant owner assurances for the Department of Transportation Bureau of Aeronautics.
I will make a motion for the chair to sign the agency agreement and federal block grant owner assurance.
Okay,
Number airport manager.
and the airport. For a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, committees, planning and zoning, anything on that? Nothing, okay. Harbor Commission will jump. Item C, Energy Committee. And this is just to authorize them to apply for a Energizing Rural Communities Prize through the U.S. Department of Energy for the proposed town microgrid.
I'll make a motion for the energy committee to apply for the Energizing Rural Communities Prize through the U.S. Department of Energy for the town proposed microgrid.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4D, committee minutes. Does anybody have any questions or comments on any of the committee minutes? Okay. I don't know if we do in consent orders. Okay. Next item, budgets, item 5, town administration, budget summary report. Everybody should have that through the end of February. Report, is there a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve this discussion.
Sure. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
My only discussion is gonna be, let's keep an eye out for the legal costs, because they're at, well, almost $20,000. We just started there.
Yeah, well, we're
I
using a
know,
lot
I
of
know.
lawyers.
But I'm just saying, let's keep an eye on that.
The Ashland, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be, it's gonna be going up,
Yeah.
so, thank you, Ben.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so it was moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5B, grant updates, anything more to report, Michael?
No, nothing that's covered else,
Okay.
nothing that's not covered in the agenda.
Okay, next item, town employees as EMTs. And is there a motion to accept or adopt the policy?
I'll make a motion, we adopt a policy for town employees as EMS responders.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5D, authorization to sign changes to the WTA group life insurance policy through the standard for employees who work between 17 and a half and 23 hours per week.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the group insurance agreement.
I'll second.
Okay, and authorizing, I think Michael, you signed this, right?
Right.
And authorizing the town administrator
And
to sign.
authorizing the town administrator to sign.
Okay, and that was seconded by Amy. Okay, any discussion? Okay, and all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5E, agenda items for the annual town meeting coming up on April 18th. We have our normal annual financial report and approval of minutes. This is the meeting that is just open to anything, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't even, nothing has to be on the agenda for people to bring it up.
Correct, unless like you wanted to have an agenda item, which I always, that's why the
No, I
question
see.
mark is there for
I
that.
got it, thank you.
But yes, they can, bring up
Let's,
any of the statute.
let's just plan on, they're gonna bring up the ferry line,
Yeah.
and they're gonna bring up where we sit down.
Yeah.
So,
What do you put those two down?
let's to be prepared
Okay, I mean, should we, the question is, should we put them on the agenda?
that, we won't have to, somebody will bring
Somebody
it
will
up.
put it.
Okay,
If we do, then they for sure will. If
Yeah.
not, they will
Okay.
go to board.
well, we'll just leave it, unless there's something that we want to signal, I guess, that we want to be discussed.
Well, they're still in, they're still in the process, so we can't say much.
No, right,
We'll leave it up to Mike.
I'm just saying,
Once we put it on the agenda, and we just basically say that, this is as far as we
That's pretty
know.
much what's in the Adams Gazette,
Right.
so we can tell them.
Oh, maybe that is a good idea. Put it down.
I mean, it's on the agenda, we put it on the agenda and then just say, this is all we've got so far, and that's our update.
anybody?
Well, that could be a good idea, because otherwise, I mean, this is something that I know all of us know everyone has an opinion on. You know, whether it's, they want, later votes, or, so maybe if we did have it as an agenda item, at least we could get it all done at
Well,
one
be
time.
structured,
Yeah,
that would be, it would just give some structure to
Yeah.
the meeting.
You use the word updates.
Yeah,
yeah, because that way then we get all those comments.
yeah, so, any preference on which one we want to handle first? Okay,
Alphabetical order?
we do, okay, we'll let Michaela
Okay.
decide which one you think you want to put
And,
first.
and you will have the financial report on the next agenda for approval before the.
Okay.
Got it, okay. Thank you. And we don't have to do anything with.
No, that was just if you wanted any extra items.
All right, item F, letter of support for the LaPointe Center regarding, I gather, I'm trying to secure support for the Indigenous Music Day, July 8th at the Rec Center. Anything further, Mike?
I don't have a lot of details, which is why I say as appropriate. I'm not sure where they're seeking additional funding, but I did get a request that if they needed that, we can supply a letter of support, and I'd rather have that authorization in advance rather than missing deadlines and those kinds of things.
Sure, I don't see a problem with that. Is there a motion
I'll make a motion to approve, you just need
to Michael sending
send a letter of authorization of support for fundraising, whatever.
for the Indigenous Music Day,
Yeah.
July 8th? Okay.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is another letter of support for Madeline Island Yacht Club to seek grants and other funding for the fuel tank relocation.
And I would make a motion to, under the same, allow Mike, you're gonna do it? Allow Michael to send letters of support on behalf of.
I'll second it. Don't put a big thing.
A what tank?
A big tank.
A big tank, yeah, for sure. Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the voucher amount in the amount of $16,644.17.
I will second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, alternative claims.
I will make another motion to approve the alternative claims in the amount of $850,815.82.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report in the amount of with a checking account balance of $1,132,738.91.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item 9, we have minutes from the public hearing on March 14th of 2023 regarding the Major Gilbert Field.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for the public hearing dated March 14th, 2023 for the Major Gilbert Field public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, minutes of the regular town board meeting of March 14th, 2023.
I'll make a motion, we approve the regular town board meeting minutes from Tuesday, March 14th, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I do have one clarification I'd like to add, Kayla, and that is on the dog park. We basically, what the minutes say is that we said the planning commission should follow their process or whatever. I think though that the bigger question that they were asking was there an objection to the location? And I think, so if you could add in there that the town board did not have an objection to the location.
No objection.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, and move and seconder are okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on the minutes? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, item 10, emergency services, ambulance. Contract with Dakota Medical Billing for ambulance billing. We have the contract there.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract from the medical billing company for the ambulance.
Second.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just, do you understand this?
As best I can, yes.
So this is like when they transport and when they do the reports, then they're going to send the bill to this company, right? I mean, I just wanna understand for myself.
Yeah, we currently have a different billing company, and, we believe that they are not aggressively pursuing, bills as they should, and so we are losing money. Or losing money, but not getting money we should be getting for, transports and services that EMS are providing, so, we are changing companies. If you approve this, this company, again, as we've said in the past, has better relationships with MMC, and with the collection process, so we believe that the ambulance service will get a higher percentage of bills actually paid than they're currently getting.
But they only get billing for if they transport, correct?
No,
No.
but there's a fee if we just show up at your house.
And then that bill will go to this company also.
Every
Every bill.
bill that EMS.
And then they in turn bill the customer.
Okay.
Okay, and there is this monthly minimum of $250, so it's a $3,000 a year deal, whether we have 1 or 0 or 100.
Right, so I mean, in general, the fee differences are, this company has a $250 monthly minimum, but their rate is lower than the current company, which has no monthly minimum, but a higher base charge.
Okay.
I'm assuming that we're hoping that we recoup to
Correct.
a monthly thing, at least we'll recoup, at least they have a collection agency, so
Yeah, no, I
we
can,
can get paid.
and we'll have some
Huh?
history.
I have a quick question.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. So the company, the existing company that we have that didn't do well in following up, are we getting that information of what they have
As best as we can, there will be a transfer
to this new
to
company?
this new company.
Okay, thank you.
That is part of both contracts.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? And this is a 3-year term. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item A2, adjust the ambulance service compensation schedule. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
that's
we can
to,
count on that.
this goes along with the, sort of the employee being on
The
call.
EMS policy.
Yeah, it's okay, and that's to change the rate from $185 for the weekend shift on call. And the ambulance directors are on board with this change.
Right, we examined a lot of different options, I should say a lot. We examined a lot. There were a few that were legal. We did the legal ones, and they both had pluses and minuses, but overall, the directors believe that this new policy, which would require us to cut that premium weekend rate, is a better option overall than the other primary legal option we have.
Got it, thank you.
And they approve of it, you said, right?
They understand, they're in agreement with it.
It's better unless they're evils.
Yeah,
They're in agreement with the need to do it.
Okay, I'll make a
Yes.
motion to approve the ambulance service compensation schedule and modifying it, changing the rate from 100 to 85 for the 12-hour holiday and weekend shift between Memorial Day weekend and the weekend after September 15th.
I'll second.
moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item 11, public comment B. Any public comment? No public comment, okay. Item 12, lawsuits and legal, and I am told that it is probably appropriate for us to go into executive session for this because we do have a confidential letter from our attorney that we should discuss, and probably take action after we get out of closed session. Thank you, Samantha.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. So, the town board may go into closed session during the meeting for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved in accordance with Wisconsin statute 19.851 1G. After the completion of the closed session, the board will come back into open session to act upon the discussion of the closed session or otherwise complete the business of the meeting before adjournment. And we do have 3 items that we will potentially be discussing in closed session, and that is our petition with the Wisconsin Department of Revenue and potential Ashland County levy litigation, also our claim against Ashland County under statute 893.81BA, and C is a writ of mandamus or mandamus, however that's pronounced. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion, we go into closed session for what you just talked about.
I'll second.
It's snowing. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? At least it looks like that. Mike Anderson,
Yes.
Amy
Sure,
Baxter,
it's snow.
Susan Brennan,
Yes.
John Carlson,
Yes.
Glenn Carlson, yes. So we are in closed session. As soon as Michaela.
It was supposed to be a storm coming through or something.
It was,
No, it's supposed to
It's not-
snow.
is it?
It's supposed to get an inch. Yeah, about an inch. And then next week.